Well, when people take the government's money and they don't spend it for what it's intended for, it needs to be paid back. We need to vigorously pursue those who've cheated the taxpayers. Now, HUD has sort of excused a lot of this by saying we got our money back. We got our money back from Prince George County because we cut their funding the next year. Or we got our money back from a participating jurisdiction or a housing development, housing department. But the taxpayers lost that money. It had to be replaced by other taxpayers' money. And from an accounting standpoint, sure, at HUD, maybe it was a balance. But money was appropriated for a project that didn't happen, and we got nothing from it. And it had to be replaced by another appropriation. And that simply masked the problem. The striking thing about this is that HUD apparently didn't know about the failure of some of these projects until they read it in the Washington Post, and they were right under their nose. So I would hope that they can do as they will do with another program where they monitor properties for sale, that they have a tracking system where they can keep up with these projects and those that fail. That they know what's out there and what's happening. Now they say they're going through educational programs, but historic cases of historic failures, repeated failures by housing authorities to publicly monitor public funds. You know, we've got to say to people, I'm sorry. You simply don't have, apparently you don't have the ability, and you hadn't demonstrated an ability to monitor your funds. They're being misused. And I think we owe it to these local communities. We owe it to these counties where funds are being squandered, where there have been payments made for projects that hadn't been built. These are American citizens. These are communities where their taxpayers didn't get what their share of tax money was squandered by some rascal or by some incompetent person. It may not have been even criminal intent, but simply somebody that wasn't qualified. And it's not up to the government to train people to get them qualified. It's not up to the government to go out and put together nonprofits. It's up to the government to see that you've got qualified people with the resources to build these projects. We've got to run it more like a business.